The Rams are expected to release Johnny Hekker, who was about to make, I think, over $3 million. I think his contract was like a 5-year, $18 million contract signed a few years ago. And the Rams are going to release him. I mean, this is a all-pro. The Niners did not have great special teams last year. And they have a very cheap punter who they drafted on their roster, Mitch Wishnowsky. But I did a little digging. And Johnny Hecker's still an elite punter based on my research. Johnny Hekker allowed, get ready for this number. You don't have to know much about special teams to know this is good. 9 total returns last year. I don't even need to tell you how many most people give up. Wishnowsky allowed 26 returns. I don't know what the average is, but when I went looking through all the punting stats, which I did, 25, 30, 35 returns, that's pretty typical.
Counter Stafford threw a bunch of picks, so that's probably 10 punts away.
Fair. 60 total punt return yards against Johnny Hekker this year. 60.
That's pretty nuts.
He was also second in the NFL with 25 fair catches. 25 fair catches. Okay. So that's a lot. So your theory is, well, he never punted. Well, he did punt. 25 fair catches was the second most in the league.
Big hang time guy.
Big hang. I don't know what his timing was. Now you could argue, here Andre says, how often did he punt? I got to go back and look, but I think he had like 3 or 4 more punts than Wishnowsky. It was not that far different.
Yeah.
Now you could argue, well, how much is he going to cost? Is he going to cost 3 times what you're paying Mitch Wishnowsky on the last year of his rookie contract? He's making under $1 million, and you drafted him. And my argument would just be this. You're about to go into the year with Trey Lance as your quarterback, probably. And if you go into the year with Trey Lance as your quarterback, you are you might play a style of game that doesn't leave you a lot of margin for error. He's not a rookie, but we're calling him a semi-rookie. And so your special teams game, which hurt you last year in a season that you didn't have a lot of room for error, it almost killed you, and then somehow it saved you, is going to be a critical part, actually,
Hightower,
of your season. Actually, Hightower should sign. Honestly, Hekker, I'm not even kidding there. I thought the Bears should be aggressive with him. So are the Niners in a position to increase their punter spend by probably 3 times to upgrade that position? By the way, at a time when, people are punting less and less and less.
Yeah, my issue with that is he's made basically well over $3 million now. He's been a $3 million punter since McVay got there.
Yep.
Obviously, he was on the team with Jeff Fisher, but he's been making 3.2, 3.5, 3.7. So let's just say he's a $3.5 million punter. You got to factor in the room. Your kicker makes $4 million, and he's worth it. Like Robbie Gould, feel good about him in a weird way. Massive comeback, you feel good. $4 million. You're gonna have a $7.5 million battery between your kicker and your punter.
Same cost as your quarterback. Right? That's what Trey's making.
I'd say that's where you get the problem. I think ideally you need one of the 2 guys to be cheap. Now, and listen, I'm no Bobby April Jr. here, but I thought Wishnowsky was pretty bad last year. Eye test, couch scouting, I'm like Kyle, I'm not that into it, but it felt like he was not good. I was at the game, and I didn't realize this. You would text me like, bro, he just got knocked out when Robbie Gould had to punt with their season and just livelihoods and respect on the line.
Clutch punt.
He punted.
He had the clutch punt, John, not just punt. He had the clutch punt in his own territory.
I even think he said it was after the game he hadn't punted since high school or whatever. Like, obviously it was a freak circumstance, but that's not ideal when it's like you don't really notice that big of a difference. So, yeah, could you upgrade 100%? I just think financially, can you afford to have $7 million going into 2 guys in the special teams room?
Fair.
I would be very interested if your kicker was a $1 million guy. And you go, well, the room would be $4 million. You agree, though, that if he's going to cost you 3.5, which I would imagine people are going to be bidding toward his services.
Right. He's still one of the best in the league.
People like
David
punters.
on the stream, don't need Hekker, Matt Reza, punt god.
Dude from San Diego State.
Yeah. What round is he getting drafted in?
Well, I mean, it's like
Fifth?
Jason Light tried to fucking change the landscape of kickers and punters, and then it did
With
not go well. And
We
people
took him in the
yeah,
second.
you know,
Wasn't Aguayo a second-round pick?
Yeah, but he shattered all the records. He had never missed.
Different between a kicker and a punter.
There is,
Like,
because it's
place
hard.
kicker
It's hard
and
to
a punt.
fuck up in training camp. Remember the training camps? Like Aguayo, this is not going well. Remember you just miss kick after kick in training camp. Twitter ruined Aguayo.
I know. I felt bad about that. I didn't participate. Some Nate on the stream says Matt from San Diego State can do both. You know, Robbie Gould has. If they had to find a random kicker for a week or two every year, feels like it may not actually be true. But
He's had a few injuries. I mean,
if my punter can hit a few field goals, that would not be the worst thing in the world.
I mean, Robbie Gould is, with Whitworth bowing out today, I would imagine the second guy over 40 in the NFL, him and Tom. He's
Brady.
40 years old.
Yeah.
Robbie is 40.
How is what round did Mitch? Wasn't Mitch in the 5th round?
I thought the 4th.
I mean, if he was in the 4th, Areza, I'm not actually sure how to say his last name, but I've seen him. Areza. It's not Areza.
I think he's viewed as like one of the best prospects. Third
Trevor
round,
Ariza's still in
feels
the
like.
league, by the way. Yeah, he's not going in the 7th round.
But you can't take a punter or kicker in the 3rd round, can you? Robbie's on the team, guy. I mean, he's got a dead cap. I mean, he's.
I'm not getting rid of Robbie. I'm just saying, would you draft another punter in your mind that you're not re-signing Wisnowski? And I think Wisnowski's dead cap, I got to check. I think it's like $90,000.
People forget it's a long time ago, and we live in a just what happened lately. When he was drafted, we did a pod because that obviously the draft
4th round, says Beard.
on Saturday, and then we did a pod on Sunday. It was on the internet streets. You remember it was pretty controversial.
Very.
A lot of people thought it was insanity, and we were like, guys, it's just a punter, starting punter, 3rd day of the draft. Who cares? People were not feeling it. If they doubled down again, they'd be like, well, we just did this. It's like, yeah, this guy's way better.
190,000 would be Mitch's dead cap.
I think I want to call him Trubisky. Wisnowski's on the team.
Same agent as Trubisky.
Does have Tolner?
Yeah.